Hello, everyone. Good morning. So I will present this project that we are developing with two railway companies in Brazil. Rumo is the major concessionary there. Okay, thank you. And Valec is the mainly builder of railways in Brazil. And we are interested in this topic because railways can act as traps, so amphibians and chelonians get stuck between the tracks and end up dying from heat stroke and dehydration. And it has been documented in the literature for different species. The two Brazilian railway companies identified the pattern of chelonian fatalities, even in places with no traffic or little traffic. So we believe that the chelonians are facing this trap problem. And the access to the tracks are probably facilitated by these railroad crossings. And to prevent that, the companies developed two prototypes of trains. So this is a wooden structured train. It's slightly convex from the center to the sides of the rails, with the purpose of passively eliminating the gravel that eventually falls into the train due to the trepidation caused by the trains. And this another train is a straight homogeneous base, resulting only from ballast removal between two sleepers. So our aim here was to experimentally evaluate the use of these different prototypes of trains by chelonians, applying behavior experiment in arenas. And to be effective, the animals cannot cross the trains and need to use them to escape from being trapped within tracks. And we also expect a lower number of fatalities in sections with trains. So our experiments consist in the exposure of 20 individuals of each species in each prototype. So every individual was tested three times, resulting in 60 trials. Each trial has the maximum of 15 minutes. So if the animal didn't leave using the train, we end up the experiment. We tested with three species, a tortoise and a turtle. These two are the most impacted chelonians in Brazil. So far, we tested the tortoise in the wooden structured trend and the turtle in the homogeneous based trend. But we intend to test both species in both prototypes to see how they behave. For now, the wooden structure trend, it seems not successful for the animals to exit the trials, the tracks, sorry. Almost all individuals have avoided the trend. It's apparently due to the height of the trend. Although the ballast is higher in the middle of the trend, when we look from the top, it seems too high for the animal to jump in. We have only in one trial an individual entering the trend, this one. Yeah, so this was the only individual that entered the trend, and it got stuck between, it was larger than trend. So maybe this wooden structure makes the trend narrower for these animals. We have better results for the trend with a straight homogeneous base. It seems successful to the animals to exit the tracks. In 43 of 60 trials, the turtles jumped into the trend. So it's a better video. And Also, in 12 trials, the individuals went over the tracks. Yeah. So we did not expect that. As I said in the beginning, we are doing this project because they are dying trapped inside the tracks. So we need to investigate more how the animals can go over, if it's related to the size or anything else, but we don't know the answer yet. And based on our results, we believe that if the chelonian enter the tracks, they can exit by trains, so avoiding death, so maybe like this. And in addition to carry out the experiments to see if the animals use the trends, we also want to evaluate the reduction of chelonian fatalities with the implementation of these trends, so then we can say that this mitigation measure is effective. So to do that, our next step to use the data from the Rumo company, because they have data from past fatalities. So between 2011 and 2016, they did fatality survey, where actually they identified the chelonian pattern of fatalities. And in 2016, they began the development of the trains, trying different types of materials until they got this prototype with the homogeneous base trend. And in 2019, they installed 205 trends in chelonian hotspots. And now they are doing the fatality survey again. So after they finish the surveys, we will compare the data from sections after, before, and with and without the trends to see if there is a reduction of chelonian fatalities using a back design. We can say probably that trends can be a solution to avoid fatalities of chelonians trapped between rails. The terrestrial species, the tortoise, did not use the wooden structure trend, and it's apparently to the height of the gap, but we expected that this species can use the homogeneous base trend as it's lower. And if the homogeneous base trend shows to be effective to reduce fatalities, it could be a simple and a cheap mitigation option. And also it can be used for other animals as tarantulas and amphibians that also die a lot in Brazilian railways. So I would like to thank you all for watching, also the companies for the partnership in this project. And also again, I would like to thank IN for the student-free fee. Thank you.
Any questions for Bibiana?
Thanks, Bibi. That was great. I just wondered if you could comment on what you thought the maintenance of the trenches would be, because I can imagine they get filled with like debris and things like this.
Yeah, this homogeneous trench base, it's very easy to maintain. It just remove the ballast, and the companies have these maintenance. I think at least once a week they run all over the railway doing the maintenance, so it's easier just to remove. One of the trains I cave, so it's easy to maintain and it's cheap, so I think it's good to apply.
Great.
Do you know whether there's something that attracts them to in between the tracks? Is there some food or something, or is it just stupidness?
No, we don't know why they are attracted by the tracks. I mean, there is no reason should they be there. We just know that possibly they went in the railroad crossings because it's the same height of the tracks, but there is no reason to be there. I don't know.
Thank you for your nice presentation. Just a question, how many of these trails do you need? And the other question, is it possible to do it similar to the amphibians? We do it in Europe, that you have some kind of fences to lead the chelonians to these underpasses?
So the company installed these 200 trends, and we want to analyze now to see how distant they can be in the railways to be effective. But I don't know yet. And so the tracks might guide the animals to the trains to exit. We need maybe we need something to the animals not getting the tracks using the trains, but as they entered in the railroad, they naturally follow the way to leave using the trains. But yeah, it actually I think to be more effective, it should have like a raised flap blocking the animal to continue and forcing them to exit using the trains. But we didn't test yet.
We still have time for more questions, so please.
Hi, thanks for the very nice presentation. Did you look also on the stability of the whole track by this kind of provisions?
Sorry, the what?
The stability of the whole train system, the whole rail system.
So this company who developed this trend, they developed this with the engineering people to don't affect the stability of the tracks. So it's installed. It can be installed at 25 meters, and there is no instability for the railways.
More questions?
Do these chelonians have corridors where they migrate more and in other areas lesser?
They, for the turtles, they occur more close to wetlands, but we don't know if there's corridors. Because we don't analyze the fatalities data yet, so we don't know if there is a pattern. We just know that they use some water to habitats with water, so they may occur more in these places.
And maybe the last question, are the turtles dying because of the crashes with the trains, or are they drying out, or are they predated?
So the company who did the survey fatality, they find the turtle like completely. So they think they are not crashing with the railway, the tracks, and I mean, they maybe not be predated. It's really like dehydration.
One last few small questions. We still have time. No? Okay, so we move on.
Thank you.